Hello, it's Saturday and you're with The Big Magazine, your weekend digest from Big News. I'm Lee Bannister and over the next hour we're going to take a nice relaxed look around our area to see what's happening. Whether you're in Birmingham, Solihull, the Black Country, this is your Big Magazine. Yes, welcome to your Saturday edition of The Big Magazine. Now in a few moments, Natalie will join me as we see what's been pinned up on this week's community notice board. We'll find out who is the subject of this week's Charity Focus, where we'll profile a local charity. Do let us know of any more we could feature. Des and Gary will be here to let you know what's on for Saturday. Carl will take time out from our movie show, The Big Picture, to give us the latest on what's happening on the silver screen. Tom Wilkinson from Doorstep History will be giving us a history lesson. Johnny Doo will be here with his unique take on the music world, and Thomas Russell will take a stroll through the literary world, and he'll be putting on his wizard's hat. Then we'll round things off with our traditional jump into the big centre post bag. Oh, and there's a special tribute to a television pioneer too. So plenty to come within the pages of Saturday's Big Magazine.
So let's have a look at what is happening in your community as we take a look at the community notice board.
Yes, if you have some news you'd like to feature, then give us plenty of notice and you could be telling people all across the area what's going on.
If you want to get in touch, we'll tell you how you can in a few minutes' time.
Now, the Royal Wolverhampton NHS Trust Charity is holding an information open day soon. The charity's aim is to make a difference to the patients of the Trust, their families and staff by providing additional resources not usually provided by the NHS.
Help can range from smaller items that are difficult to obtain all the way up to life-saving equipment. At the open day, they'll be demonstrating how easy it is to get involved with your local hospital and make a real difference to patient care and experiences.
So if you'd like to find out more about this, then the open day will be on the afternoon of Thursday, the 19th of May, at the Molyneux Stadium on Waterloo Road in Wolverhampton, and it'll run from 2 p.m. until 4:30.
The UK's only group of vegetarian restaurants, 1847, have announced their special free-from menu, which will be available across its 4 city centre sites during Monday the 16th till Sunday the 22nd of May to celebrate National Vegetarian Week.
Oh, wow.
I'm vegan, so...
Of course you are. Yes. Now, the menu specially created by the 1847 chefs is inspired and developed around the rise of customers eating a free-from diet, be it free from meat, dairy or gluten. Dishes include, can you pronounce these?
Wild garlic gnocchi with wild nettles pesto and dukkha spice, carrot and morel bake with purple sprouting broccoli, roasted radish and caramelised shallot sauce. And Earl Grey tea, creme caramel with biscotti.
You ever tried any of those?
Yes, I have.
Sounds beautiful, actually.
Very nice.
Yeah. Now, it's named after the year the Vegetarian Society was formed, 1847, and their restaurants specialise in high-quality, locally produced vegetarian, vegan and gluten-free dining at their Bristol, Birmingham, Brighton and Manchester locations.
I'm so happy to hear about this, because I didn't know this was this, but I'm really excited. I'm going to go. Now, the wine list, wine, again, why does it always get
Honestly,
me on the wine?
you and wine, what is it?
Now I'm definitely going. The wine list has been carefully curated to not only complement the dishes, but to comprise of vegan-only bottles. Botanically based cocktails concocted especially for 1847 with the help of expert mixologists are also on the menu. You can get more information from www.buy1847.com.
So if somebody says to you, wine, your ears prick up.
Yeah, I know.
Wine?
Why not?
Oh yeah, I suppose, yeah, okay. Now on Saturday the 25th of June, members of Bold Text, which is a local group of playwrights, are going to be at Astley Castle in Warwickshire as part of the Writers in Warwickshire Festival 2016.
Do you know, I can tell you a bit about Bold Text. They're actually a really great group. What it is the Rep in Birmingham do a sort of programme every year called Right Away. And the people from Bold Text were on the Right Away programme and then decided to stay together after they graduated from the course, and then called themselves Bold Text.
I like
a
that.
writing group.
Sounds good.
It's very cool, and it's a good programme at the Rep as well, so if anyone wants to check that out. Now, kicking off in the morning with a Write What You Know workshop with Liz John and Vanessa Oakes, drawing on your own life, this workshop will help you to find your voice, hone your writing skills and turn your personal experiences into a story.
I like stuff like that, yeah. Then they'll be reading individual selfies in the afternoon. Now, selfies are not what you might think. They're actually 3 dramatic monologues, expressing the team's working practices and influences, as well as exploring how their individual backgrounds have shaped the writers that they are today. The results, like all good selfies, promise to be entertaining, diverse, occasionally comedic, and sometimes downright bizarre. You know them, is that true?
Well, no, I don't know Baltics. I know of them. I know their work.
Yes.
I don't know them personally, but I'm sure they do great monologue selfies.
Yeah. We've got some titles here.
Yeah. Their titles are Off His Trolley by Stephen Jackson, In Search of the Unhappy Ending by Liz John, and The Other Me by Vanessa Oakes.
Sounds interesting. So if you're interested, it's on Saturday the 25th of June at Astley Castle in Warwickshire. Looks great, that place. The events are free. And if you'd like to find out more, then have a look at their website, which is boldtextcollective.wordpress.com. Oh, and it includes morning coffee too. Oh, it's not bad.
Well,
would you prefer wine?
I was just about to say.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Oh dear.
Now, the team at Old Oscott Working Men's Club have been in touch with us about their May events. So it's a big hello to the entertainment team. Hi, entertainment team.
Hello.
Mick, Joff, Margot, Steve and Neil. And here's what they've got in store.
Saturday the 14th, Rock This Party Cabaret plus Michelle Williams. Wednesday the 18th, Jeff Martin. Friday the 20th, there's a Motown night. We like a bit of Motown. Saturday the 21st, Jerry and the Hat-Tricks plus Ian Charles. Wednesday the 25th, Big John. Who else have they got?
We've got Friday the 27th. It's quiz night, so not anyone, it's just quiz.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Saturday the 28th, it's Chapter 6 and Dave Manhattan. Plus, they also have the following regular evening weekly activities. Sundays, it's Free and Easy in the Lounge and Country and Western in the concert room.
Wow, sounds like the Phoenix Nights, actually. I always remember that. On Mondays, it's Chess Club and Ladies Darts.
Tuesdays, cash prize bingo and men's darts.
Nice. Wednesdays, sequence dancing and men's darts.
Why
again.
do men's darts get 2 nights?
I just hope they're not in the sequence dancing room. Can you imagine that? Ooh, get off. Anyway.
Thursdays, it's cash bingo.
Hey, that's all at Old Oscott Working Men's Club. They're on the Aldridge Road, and they tell us they're just a few minutes from Junction 7 of the M6 and 50 metres from the Asda at Queslit. There's a large car park with an overspill car park opposite at Great Bar Sawmills. Disabled access is available to all parts of the club with ramps, lifts and toilets.
So plenty of parking is the message there, I think.
Place, yeah.
So don't worry if you're driving, you can park. For more information, go to www.oldoscottwmc.co.uk. I'll do that again. It's www.oldoscottwmc.co.uk.
Or you can email oldoscott@gmail.com or look up Old Oscott WMC on Facebook.
Now, on Saturday the 9th of July, the Burwood Corks Social Club, in association with Mint Studios, are hosting a charity performance of Hairspray, the musical, raising money for children in need. Back in January, they sent out a request for people who would be interested in performing in the show. And the response was overwhelming. So now the show has been cast. Break a leg to the cast.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Now, they've got, get this, 2 ex-Butlins Redcoats, a member of the rock choir, but most of the others haven't appeared on stage before, so it's the first time for them. A number of local companies have helped with printing the script, recording the backing tracks, as well as costumes and wigs.
There will also be a raffle on the day with prizes such as 2 return rail tickets, a 2-night stay in a serviced apartment, gift cards, meals for 2 and much more. I bet you there's wine with that meal for 2.
You're obsessed, woman. Previously, the Burwood Corks Social Club staged the traditional pantomime Cinderella in November last year, which raised a total of £3,800 for children in need. So that's Hairspray the musical at the Burwood Corks Social Club on Saturday, the 9th of July. Tickets are available from the Corks Club website at tinyurl.com/corksclub. That's how you get to it. tinyurl.com/corksclub.
And Hairspray is a great musical, so it'll be a good evening.
Remember the film, actually?
Yeah, well, are we talking about John Travolta one?
There were 2, weren't there?
Yes, I don't remember the one you're on about. This coming week at the Asylum Art Gallery in Chapel Ash, Wolverhampton, you can see Florilgium by Linda Neville.
That's what I would say. Yes, I would say that.
Florilgium. There we go.
Okay. Linda describes it as a gathering of flowers observed and remembered, expressions of joy and excitement. Linda has collected together collagraphs, monotypes and woodcuts on the theme of the garden.
So if you like the sound of that, have a look at www.theasylumartgallery.org.
And finally, the Lawn Tennis Association is launching its annual Great British Tennis Weekend this weekend, 14th to 15th of May, where thousands of free tennis events will take place across the country. The sessions are designed to suit the whole family and range from cardio tennis, Highland Spring mini tennis sessions, family time, free play and many more. Now, I asked you about badminton. Did you play tennis?
No, do you know what? I'm not good at tennis because I can't let it bounce, because you don't let it bounce in badminton, do you?
That's true,
You just
of course.
keep rallying. And I try and rally with a tennis racket and it doesn't work.
I played it on the console, on the computer. That's as good as I can get.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, so I think that's everything. Yeah, the Great British Tennis Weekend is suited for season regulars, beginners and everyone in between, and provides the perfect opportunity to pick up a racket and get involved in a fun, healthy and social sport ahead of the summer season. Beginning rackets and balls will be provided for all participants. So all they need to do is sign up for a free session by visiting lta.org.uk/GBTW.
Yes. So that's what we found on our community notice board for this week.
Would you like to tell people across the area what's going on?
Yes.
Then, okay.
Sorry, I'm just joining in.
Then get in touch. Just make sure you let us know in plenty of time. Let me know in plenty of time,
I'll let you know.
Lee.
I'll tell you what, I'll email you via the postbag.
Okay,
Shall I?
yeah.
Yes. It's postbag@bigcentre.tv. I might even send you a message on social media @bigcentre.tv.
Or if you've got more time on your hands, you
Yes.
could pop a letter in the post.
How do I do that?
Well, it's there. It's the Community Notice Board, Big Centre, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
With over 20 charity shops across the West Midlands, this week's charity focus is Compton Hospice Care. Join me today as I talk to a few of the wonderful people that make this charity such a success. Welcome to Charity Focus. I'm Tafadzwa Bashir. Come on, let's go in. Just outside Wolverhampton in Codsall, in a village in the South Staffordshire region, is one of these great charity shops that raises money for the hospice through public donations.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. Nice to see.
Good.
Dalma Thornton, a volunteer for 4 years, was looking for something to occupy her time after losing her father, explains why the Compton Hospice is an important part of the community.
Not everybody has a family, you know, and they can be there at home on their own, wondering what can they do, how can they get help. They don't like to ask, and they've nobody to turn to, and it's just so important to get somebody to go around and see what their needs are, put a smile on their face. It's so lovely, you know. You just feel that you're doing something really worthwhile by doing that. But I don't think you need any particular qualifications. It's just, what do you want from it? Sometimes it's people just like to come for the company. Sometimes people like enjoy the work, having contact with other people and conversation and what they're doing in their little way to help the hospice and help those needy people that, you know, they're so grateful for what they get or receive from it, you know, the home care, the palliative care, the day for their families, the carers, that they get a little bit of a break from caring for their loved ones, you know. So I think we have a really nice atmosphere in here, and it's friendly, and it's just enjoyable. It makes my day coming in here for the day, so, yeah.
So I decided to travel to Wolverhampton to see exactly just how all the donations and money raised in the shops contribute to actual care at the centre.
Compton Hospice provides care and support for those who've been diagnosed with a terminal illness. So we provide medical care in terms of having a fantastic team of doctors and nurses who offer support with medication or pain relief or symptom control, through to emotional support, just having somebody to talk to and interact with. We have something we offer called complementary therapy care, so we can offer people things like Reiki, aromatherapy, massage, anything really that's kind of going to help somebody to deal with the fact that they've been told that their illness is terminal. We want people to understand that Compton Hospice isn't just the last stop. We can provide care and support from the moment that a person's illness has been diagnosed as terminal. So in some cases that could be months, in some cases that can be years, and we're trying to change the misconception that Compton Hospice is the last stop, because people can receive care for a lot sooner and can benefit from talking to people, talking to professionals, talking to patients who are in similar scenarios, and we want people to understand that the sooner they come to us, the more life they have left to live.
Every day I come here, I feel good.
So why do you come here?
Well, just look around, the people, nurses, the angels are. They look after me and they're great, every one of them.
When I came first, I was rather pleasantly surprised, because to me all I heard of was hospice. It's a last chance saloon sort of business, but it's anything but that.
What is it to you?
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic, yeah. I didn't really want to come, and then I haven't been once, so I don't mind coming every day.
So to everybody else that you're talking about that thinks, it's the one last stop, what would you say to them today?
I would say to them, even if your time is limited anyhow, to come here, because you make the most of the rest of your life anyhow.
With an ethos of life before death, Compton Hospice is truly a remarkable place.
People come to Compton Hospice and receive the care from us to live the rest of their lives as opposed to waiting to die.
For more information, please do get in touch.
Welcome back. It's Saturday's Big Magazine. Still to come, Carl will be here with the film news. Tom Wilkinson will join me for a look back at the week in history. Johnny Doom will offer his unique view of the music world. Thomas Russell will settle down with a good book, and I'll be dropping it into the postbag. Oh, and we've got a tribute to a TV giant as well. That's all later on in the show. But first, here they are, our answer to the Marx Brothers. It's Des and Gary with a look at what's on for Saturday.
Now, presented by David Hay and Andy Shepherd, BAMA returns to the Barclaycard Arena, featuring one of the most action-packed mixed martial arts cards of the year. Colin the Freak Show Fletcher returns to take on undefeated Walter the Sniper Gadza in a huge welterweight encounter, and the UK's biggest grudge match is finally on as Lonsdale champion Mark Bone Crusher Diakes collides with Kane Blackbane Musa for the Lonsdale heavyweight title. Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Brilliant. Located behind the Metro Hotel here in Walsall as part of a major fundraising campaign to save 104-year-old Walsall Tennis Club, international tennis stars Danny Sampsford and Luke Milligan will be delivering group coaching to the public and playing an exhibition match at the club between midday and 5 p.m. Now, the event includes a range of activities for all ages, and you'll even have the opportunity to play a match against them if you're the lucky winner in the Tennis Star raffle. So get along there and support the cause and help save this 104-year-old club, the last remaining tennis club in Walsall.
And you see all these, they won the Davis Cup last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
And things like, Andy Murray's a big sort, and his brother.
Some of the councils, Birmingham City Council, are getting really behind tennis now. They've just opened 6 new courts at Cannon Hill Park, helped out with the Priory Club.
Brilliant.
And they're just trying to get more people into tennis.
Yeah.
But it's difficult, you know, people still think it's a bit of an elitist sport, but it's not really.
No.
It's not that
No,
expensive.
no, I used to play tennis when I was a kid.
A lot of schools have stopped doing tennis as well now.
Yeah.
And those tennis courts you used to have on the parks.
Yeah,
have
yeah,
gone.
I remember, yeah.
It's a big shame.
Yeah. The Old Rep Theatre has host of Live at the Apollo and star of Radio 4, Hal Cruttenden, back ranting about the real evils of social media and the 5-2 diet. You tried that?
I don't do diets, there's no point.
No.
Healthy eating is what you want.
That's
Cut
right.
down on your carbs, increase on your fruit and veg.
Yeah.
Above the ground veg if you can, not so much root vegetables.
Yeah.
Cut down on your portion size, get rid of sugar. Job done. But the
Yeah.
5-2 thing, I think you eat for 5 days, starve yourself for 2. Get doctor's advice
If
before.
we've got a girl on now, Yvonne, and she's talking about all that. She doesn't like that. The more he complains, the funnier he gets. He went to school with George Osborne and quickly fell out with him. Oh, well, there you go.
Right, showing at the Rep until the 21st. Stan's Caff presents Made Up. It's told on a film set where Kate, a young film star, is being transformed into the various characters she is to play by makeup artist Sue. The play centres round the cracks that are revealed in both characters' lives as the real-time metamorphosis of Kate develops on stage. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
They're out of the jewellery quarter, that lot.
Oh, good.
Gigs tonight in Willen Hall at Gilbert's Bar. There's a DPAC fundraising night with an Irish sing-along and dance.
Deepak, I thought that was an American rap artist. Obviously not.
It's no. It's a £5 in and all going to a worthy cause. Manic Street Preachers are at the Genting Arena. Kate Rusby, supported by local favourites Boat to Row, are at the Town Hall. And soul legends Kenny Thomas and Jocelyn Brown.
Wow, somebody else's guy.
Yeah, and here she is.
Can't get off my high horse. I can't let go. You are the one who makes me feel so real. Ooh, what am I supposed to do when I look up on you and realize that you're somebody else's guy? On that day in September, I'm sure you can remember. That's when all the stuff hit the fan. You told me a lie, and you didn't have an alibi. But baby, yet I still can. You know I love you so, baby, that I can't let you go. No, you are the one who makes me feel so real. Ooh, what am I supposed to do when I look up on you and realize that you're somebody else's guy?
Now, do you like a good film? Well, let's see what's on offer. From our movie magazine show, The Big Picture, here's Carl with the best seat in the house.
Well, it's that time of week now where we take a look at some of the big movies showing at West Midlands cinemas right now. And there's no fewer than 5 new releases to take a look at this week. It seems to me that barely a week goes by these days without a new animated movie. And this week's offering is Angry Birds. And they've certainly come a long way since their days as an annoyingly addictive smartphone game. Angry Birds the movie is ridiculous, but I think that's part of its charm because it's sort of supposed to be. Here's one of the hapless characters being flung around and totally out of control.
You, what's your name? Hal? I've seen you do something strange before, right?
Let's see, I'm really
Doesn't
good
matter.
at
Launch him.
handling
Oh, this guy looks good.
He's gonna make it.
This is incredible. We're witnessing history right now.
Nope. Hey, he's coming back. He's coming down. Get down.
Did we win?
No, not quite yet, buddy. We're still tied. Hey, can we get an ice pack for Hal?
As you can see there, Angry Birds is contrived, it's quirky, it's certainly colourful and it's full of funny little fellas. Angry Birds are now being catapulted into a cinema near you. Now then, let's hope the producers are right with the title of this next film, because it's called Everybody Wants Some. It's all about a group of college baseball players who are trying to navigate their way through the freedoms and responsibilities of unsupervised adulthood. If you like the idea of hanging out with 12 college-age guys for the best part of 2 hours, then I think you'll probably enjoy that one. It's a decent mix of naughtiness and a dose of nostalgia as well. But here's my favourite new film of this week. It's called Green Room, and it follows the trials and tribulations of a punk band who have to fight for their lives when a group of thugs lay siege to the bar they've been playing in and they stumble across a dead body. There's genuine tension, there's suspense all the way through this story, and for my money, you can't beat a good siege movie, and Green Room is most definitely a good siege movie. So that's 3 down and 2 to go. Also new this week is Our Kind of Traitor. This one's based on the John le Carré novel about a couple who are lured into a Russian defection plan and end up finding themselves in a world where no one can be trusted. There's a decent cast in this one, including Ewan McGregor, Damian Lewis, and Miss Moneypenny herself, Naomi Harris. Let's have a look at a clip of a fairly tense interrogation scene.
I said I didn't want my wife involved.
I'm sorry, would you like to wait outside?
Involved in what?
I brought something over for Dima.
What?
I don't know.
How'd you like to sit down? I have some questions. Not tough, medium soft. Is this all he gave you?
Yeah.
Didn't offer you any money?
Oh, he did, but I refused.
Then why did you bring it?
I thought it was the right thing to do. He said that his children would be killed if I didn't.
You believed him?
He seemed scared.
He told you he was a member of the Russian mafia. And you still agreed to help him. You haven't checked the contents of the memory stick.
No, I thought I could just hand it over and be done with it. I thought that would be it, you know?
Well, do you believe him? You know what John le Carré stories are like, you're never quite sure, and this one simmers along nicely. Also new this week is Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. This is a film where Tina Fey plays a journalist recounting her time in Afghanistan in a film that's got dark comedy at its heart. Does it always hit the mark? Not quite sure. Now let's finish this week by taking a look at the current West Midlands box office charts. Down to number 10 this week, the social media shocker Friend Request. At 9 we see Bollywood Time Machine Adventure 24. At 8, Idris Elba causing chaos in Paris in Bastille Day. At 7, the animated adventure Zootropolis. At number 6, the war thriller Eye in the Sky with Helen Mirren. At number 5, another animated movie, Robinson Crusoe. At 4, the feel-good but sound-bad opera singer Florence Foster Jenkins. At 3, the comedy sequel Bad Neighbours 2. Still at number 2 is The Jungle Book, and holding its place at number 1, Captain America: Civil War.
Thanks, Carl. Time for a break now. When we come back, Tom Wilkinson will be here with his history lesson. Johnny Doom from Amped will let us into his wide world of music. Thomas Russell will take a look at the book and then he'll tell us what he thinks. And as ever, I'll be delving into the Big Centre postbag too. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Saturday's Big Magazine with me, Lee Bannister. It's your weekend digest from Big Centre. Now, still to come, Johnny Doom with his look at the music scene. Thomas Russell will be immersing himself in the book, and I'll be trying on the postbag for size. And don't forget, we've also got the tribute to a TV giant. But before all that, let's look back over the past week in history with Doorstep History's Tom Wilkinson. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Back again.
Yes. So, what happened last week?
Last week, it was quite a fairly steady pace for a week, as far as weeks go in history. May the 9th in 1662, the first ever recorded misdemeanours of Mr. Punch.
Oh, right, okay. Mr. Punch, what, as in Punch and Judy?
Punch and Judy,
Oh,
Mr.
right.
Punch.
I didn't know that.
Well, it wasn't called Mr. Punch then, but it's
Oh.
the first sort of recognisable version of Mr. Punch. Yeah, but he, obviously no longer around.
Well, obviously not.
Risque these days. with
See,
the old
that's quite a
PC.
shame. I get why, but it's still quite a shame. You know, it's sort of part of your childhood that's disappeared, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to love the Punch and Judy shows when I was a kid as well.
And the crocodile who swallowed the baby. That's no. I can understand why it's not around anymore. Anyway,
Yeah,
yes.
worse in Hollywood films though.
That's true.
1671, Thomas Blood, disguised as a clergyman, tried to steal King Charles II's crown jewels.
Did he?
Yes.
Why?
Bit of money.
Okay, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah. He completely destroyed the orb as he smashed it down so it could be easily smuggled out.
Oh, I see. Doesn't that sort of devalue it though? If you sort of smash it to pieces, or is it just the inherent value of the material?
It's just the inherent value of the material that
Right.
I think he was after, because obviously it's gold and diamonds and
That's true.
rubies.
Yeah, it still looks prettier in its original form now.
Well, yeah, he probably got more money for it, but you know, you don't exactly just stroll in and out of the Tower of London. Do you?
Not really, no.
1904, the steam locomotive, the City of Truro, becomes the first European train to reach 100 miles an hour.
Ah, well, yeah. I remember that, yes.
Steam
Goes like the clappers.
And put Cornwall on the map for a while.
Yeah? Oh, it would do, yeah.
And Truro.
True.
1974, the Watergate scandal calls for Tricky Dick Nixon to be impeached, which he eventually was.
Of course he was, yes. Fascinating story, that. So many ins and outs and twists and turns.
Yeah, well, you could say that a lot of politicians get away with worse than the Watergate scandal these days.
You could say that. We can't possibly comment.
Nope. Impartial. May the 10th, Louis XIV and Marie Antoinette become the King and Queen of France.
Bit of a stormy relationship there.
With the French.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them eat cake is the famous phrase.
Oh, that's right, yeah. We joked about that being at their wedding, but no.
Yeah. 1962, Marvel Comics first prints The Incredible Hulk. Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, of course, yes. You won't like me when I'm angry.
No.
I love that. I really do love that. The two films aren't so bad, I suppose.
No.
Yeah, they weren't universally well received, but
The new ones are better with Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, of course, yes. Out at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Put Lou Ferrigno out of a job though with CGI.
I don't think. Well, yeah, he's a little bit older these days. Maybe he wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Is he still around? Oh, I can't remember if he's still around.
Yeah, he is.
Is he? Oh,
Still alive.
Well,
yeah, he did.
Sorry,
he did a little cameo in the one of the last Incredible Hulk films with Stanley.
I tell you why I'm thinking that. It's because Bill Bixby died, didn't he, a few years ago?
Yeah. 1994, Nelson Mandela is inaugurated.
Oh, cool. 22 years ago.
Expanding my vocabulary there.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, 1994, he became the first black president of South Africa after the whole apartheid fiasco.
That's a real achievement for that period, wasn't it? Yeah.
Definitely
Amazing,
is,
man. Yeah.
especially in that part of the world.
True.
South Africans aren't normally the most welcoming.
Well, things have changed, haven't they, over many years, you know?
Yeah. May the 11th, 1949, Israel joins the United Nations, which declared them as a legitimate country.
Ah, of course, yes, yeah. Big turning point for them.
Yeah. But obviously there's still a lot of trouble that's caused by it that's lasted over the past few decades.
Yeah. Excellent. And finally?
And finally, we'll end with Velcro.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Velcro was first registered as a trademark on May the 13th, 1958.
What would we do without it? Not a lot, probably. Thank you very much.
Yep, no problemo.
Cheers, Tom. And he'll be looking ahead to next week's historical happenings here on The Big Magazine tomorrow. OK, let's head on over to Johnny Doom's pad now to see what's happening in the music world.
Right, I'm Johnny Doom from Amped, which you can see Wednesdays at 10, Fridays at 11:30 for all your rock needs. And here's the pick of the gigs. Mike Peters, you might remember him from The Alarm. He's playing 15th of May at the O2 Academy. Brum Legends Magnum, there at the O2 Institute. That's 19th of May. And Pop Punkers Busted and Wheatus, they're going to be 20th of May. That's at the Genting Arena.
And thanks to Johnny Doom there. He'll be back with Amped on Wednesday nights at 10. Right, now it's time for a good read. Or is it? Well, let's find out what's on this week's Big Centre bookshelf with Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Lee.
Hiya. You all right?
Good to be back.
Yeah, welcome back.
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Yes. So, what are we looking at this week?
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, released in America in a redrafted, slightly tuned version for a more American audience, as the Sorcerer's Stone.
Of course, yeah.
Which was rather condescendingly renamed from Philosophers because they thought American children would be able to understand the word philosopher, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's been out for a while. Why choose now to review Harry Potter?
Well, next year is the 20th anniversary of the Philosopher's Stone release.
Ah.
But more importantly, they have recently made the charts again, the children's fiction charts, because they've been re-released. So I think it's the fourth major reprinting, new covers and such for the books. And next year also marks the 10th anniversary of the release of the last book. So they released 7 books over 10 years.
Right, okay. The 7th in 10 years, yes. You mentioned about plot holes, inconsistencies in later books. How are you finding them on sort of this read-through?
Yeah, I read all of Philosopher's Stone, and it's a very short book. It's very enjoyable. It's quite twee, and it's responsible for completely reinvigorating the children's fiction market because it doesn't talk down to children. It has some challenging themes, but it's not gory. It asks questions, but it's not suggestive. There's no sex, not much violence in it. You know, it's a proper kids' book. The plot holes that I talked to you about a couple of days ago mainly comes from the fact that the books go from being sort of ideally pitched at children to being pitched at young adults very, very, very quickly. They go from being quite twee and making feathers fly to blasting people across a room, and Harry somehow having the magic to know how to kill someone. In just a couple of books.
Right.
The tone changes very, very quickly from Philosopher's Stone, Book 1, and then you have Chamber of Secrets, Book 2, which is a little darker, to The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is a very, very dark book in places. And things sort of stabilise off there. Rowling established her tone for the books going on. But having last read the Harry Potter series probably 2 years ago, being aware of the tone of the later books, it is very, very jarring to go from Philosopher's Stone to this one. But in terms, there are also many, many plot inconsistencies, mainly revolving around various characters that are mentioned. In later books, she just introduces elements of the magical world which have been around for centuries but aren't even mentioned in the wider world examinations in the early books. So, for instance, in later books, the auras, which are the elite police of the wizarding world, aren't introduced until book 4, but a different named elite police force is mentioned in book 1, but it's completely abandoned and picked up later.
Okay.
Which is quite frustrating for repeat readers, but it is, in Philosopher's Stone, a much easier introduction than introducing this big ministry political structure, which a part of me wishes she'd really written a series for children and written an adult series for people who want that political look at things.
Okay. And very quickly, better than the film and favourite character?
Just from Philosopher's Stone, favourite character is Minerva McGonagall, who is the head of Gryffindor House, for those who don't know. Better than the film is kind of hard to say, really, because they are basically the same.
It's very close to the film.
Incredibly, incredibly close. Most of the dialogue remains the same. There are a few departures in the big magic areas because that would be very expensive to put on film. But Chris Columbus, the director of the Philosopher's Stone movie, stuck very, very close to the book. Later books diverge hugely from the... later films divert hugely from the books. But it's still a good book to read, even though the tone changes radically across the series.
Right, so bearing that in mind then, stars out of 5.
Stars out of 5. It's enjoyable. It's best enjoyed as almost a primer for the later books, which delve into more complex themes. It's very, very simple. For little kids, they will probably love it and give it 4 stars. Me, myself, I can't give it more than 2.5.
Oh, right, OK.
But that is mainly based on my experience of knowing how good some of the later stuff is.
Right, so you're judging it within the whole rather than...
I kind of have to at this point because I've read through them all a couple of times. It's kind of Lord of the Rings. You can't judge the Fellowship without the context of the others.
Yeah,
so it's by no means the strongest of the books.
So then, you mentioned briefly earlier, what are we looking at next week?
Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. It's a investigative crime thriller. Beyond that, I've looked almost nothing into it. I've downloaded it. I have it on my Kindle and I have it on my my iPhone now, ready to have a listen. And it's audiobook formats all the way for the most part, but like I say, I will be also flicking through digital pages.
And if somebody wants to suggest a book to you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always open to suggestions. We had our first suggestion a couple of weeks ago. Anyone with any recommendations wants to submit their own little bit of a review, something like that, all they need to do is get in touch, which is bookshelf@bigcentre.tv.
Lovely. Tom, thank you. Now, recently we showed a programme called Disability, Life of an Athlete, and it inspired Michael Doyle to get in touch. Now, he said, "Yesterday I watched Big Centre and the programme regarding disability. I found the programme really interesting and realistic in relation to people's sufferings." Now, Michael went on to include an article that he'd written regarding the death of a friend of his who had encountered many difficulties during his life because of the fact that he was deaf. Now, Michael had known his friend Ken since 1960 when they met and worked at a leather factory in Walsall. Now, as I said, the programme that Michael enjoyed was called Disability Life as an Athlete, and in it we meet the disabled athletes taking part in the world of competitive bodybuilding. Now, you might be interested to know that we'll be showing it again here on Big Centre on Spring Bank Holiday Monday, 30th of May at 8:30 in the evening. Plus there'll be a couple of repeats on Tuesday the 31st of May at 2 p.m. and again at 5:30. Thanks for that, Michael. Glad to know you enjoyed the programme and that it struck a chord with you. And if you'd like to get in touch with us then on social media, we are at Big Centre TV. And you can find us under that name on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Plus, of course, you can email us, postbag@bigcentre.tv. Now, earlier this week, we heard of the sad death of one of the pioneers of television. Not in this country, but the other side of the world. However, there is a very definite Midlands connection, as Mike Prince tells us. But first, recognise this.
Here at Big Centre TV, we were saddened to learn of the death of Reg Grundy, one of the founding fathers of Australian television, and a man who had more than a passing association with Birmingham and the Midlands. Reg began his career as a sports commentator on radio. When television arrived down under, Reg made the transition to this new medium, and with his new show, Wheel of Fortune. Later, moving behind the camera, Reg would go on to produce over 80 game and quiz shows in Australia, including Sale of the Century, Blankety Blanks, with the S as it was called down in Australia, Perfect Match, and The Price is Right. Reg was determined to get into television drama production, and he needed the very best talent in order to fulfil this ambition. And he wanted at least one daily serial or soap opera on every television network in Australia, a very ambitious plan. Now, here's where the Birmingham connection comes in. He'd heard of the success of Crossroads in Birmingham and travelled to the UK to spend a week observing how the serial was produced. He made several return visits to Brum in order to persuade the Australian-born Crossroads producer Reg Watson and series director Alan Coleman, who died last year actually, to move down under in order to head up his fledgling drama department. And I knew both Reg Watson and Alan Coleman when I was a young programme researcher at ATV in the late 60s. The first major hit serial which Reg Grundy had was The Young Doctors, a programme which followed the lives and loves of the staff and patients of the Albert Memorial Hospital. The programme was a ratings hit in Australia and was the first Grundy soap to sell internationally, with Central Television here in the Midlands being the first British broadcaster to screen it. The Young Doctors ended up selling all over the world and broke the record as Australia's longest-running drama serial at the time. The hits kept on coming, and Midlands viewers were soon enjoying Sons and Daughters, which followed the over-the-top exploits sometimes of the rich Hamilton family in Sydney and the working-class Palmers in Melbourne. Central Television had another hit on their hands when they acquired Prisoner Cell Block H, where the tough inmates of the Wentworth Detention Centre were ruled over by sadistic screws such as Joan the Freak Ferguson. When the programme ended, fans picketed the Central Studios demanding a repeat run. And I well remember the scrum outside the Bridge Street entrance of Central TV in Birmingham when I was trying to go on duty as an announcer. This popularity encouraged Central bosses to become co-production partners with Reg Grundy in the series Dangerous Women, a programme which was filmed in America about female inmates being released from jail and attempting to rebuild their lives in a halfway house. Reg Grundy's greatest drama success came with the serial Neighbours, a programme devised by Reg Watson. For over 30 years, the lives and the residents of Ramsay Street have enthralled viewers all over the world, and it continues to be a ratings winner for Channel 5 here in the UK to this day. The theatrical agent Darren Gray says, Reg Grundy was a true gentleman and was very kind to me. He was a very generous man who created so many opportunities for cast and crew members all over the world. He genuinely cared about the people who worked for him and gave pleasure to television viewers everywhere with a big fan base for his shows here in the Midlands. He was a true pioneer of the television industry, and I doubt that we'll see his like again. More's the pity. One of the greatest television producers ever to work in our industry has left us, but his legacy will live on through the remarkable archive of programming which he has left behind and which still has a firm following here in the UK as well as his native Australia. Reg was awarded both the Order of the British Empire and the Order of Australia and published his autobiography titled Reg Grundy in 2010. He died on the 8th of May at his home in Bermuda at the age of 92. His wife and actress and author, Joy Chambers, was by his side as she always was. Joy was always on hand to support him. Theirs was truly a perfect match.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks also to Darren Gray, who, as we heard, knew Reg Grundy and represented a number of performers in the Grundy programmes. And that's your Big Magazine for Saturday. So remember, you can catch the Big Magazine on Big News on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And then we're back with more tomorrow on Sunday, also at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. I do hope you can join us then. So from the whole team here, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Try a bit.